You're listening to Overwhelmed Working Woman, the podcast that helps you be more calm and more productive by doing less. I'm your host, Michelle Gauthier, a former overwhelmed working woman and current life coach. On this show, we unpack the stress and pressure that today's working woman experiences. And in each episode, you'll get a strategy to bring more calm, ease, and relaxation to your life.
Hi, friend. Thanks for joining us today. I was thinking about this the other day with one of my clients who's working on becoming a not people pleaser. I don't know how you say that. She's learning to stop people pleasing. And one of the things that we talked about was her doing that via text message. Email and honestly text too are two of the best places to practice not people pleasing because you have time on your side. You don't have to answer in the moment. You can pause and take a breath and think about what you actually want to say. So what I'm going to talk to you about today is why you do not have to reply immediately and that you shouldn't, how to figure out what you really want to say, and then the third thing is whatever you thought you wanted to say less. Let's imagine that you get a text message and you hear the little ding or whatever notification you get and you look and you're immediately like, I have to reply right now. I know some people feel the same too about their email inboxes. When they check their email, they feel like they need to reply immediately to all of the emails, especially if it's from a boss or someone who you perceive to be waiting for your response. Point one is to remember text messages and emails are very rarely an actual emergency and that you can take some time to formulate your response. Okay, so once you have not replied and you give yourself just a second, take a deep breath and figure out what you actually want to say. Think about if you want to say yes or no. And if you aren't sure about if you want to say yes or no or how to say no, listen to episode 61. We'll link it in the show notes, but it covers the love and fit test, which is how to figure out if you want to say yes or no. And it has 11 scripts of the words to actually say when you want to say no. So pause, figure out what you actually want to say. Let's just say one of your coworkers has asked you to cover for something that you do not want to or do not have time to cover. Okay, so now you haven't responded. You've taken the time to figure out that you actually want to say no, and then start formulating what you want to say. Let's imagine that you type back, gosh, I really wish I could, but I just can't cover you. I'm super busy. I'm working on this other project. The other project, I have to go to this meeting and that meeting, etc. So what I'm getting out of that is you want to say no, and you want to give a lot of reasons why you want to say no. The third point is to say less. So whatever you think you need to say less. Read your message and think, what can I take out of this? You could say, I'm not available, but I hope it goes great. Thanks for thinking of me. I can't this time. Even just no thank you. And it feels weird at first, and you'll definitely want to over-explain, but this is how you practice to stop people pleasing. Okay, so see if you can do these 3 steps today. Get a text message, don't reply immediately. Pause and think about what you really want to say. Maybe even type up what you want to say and then say less and hit send. If you can consistently do that, you will really get in the practice that it takes to stop people pleasing and say no when you actually want to say no. Once you've got it down there, you can move on and give it a whirl and try it out in person when someone asks you something face to face. And in that case, you always have the opportunity to say, oh, thanks for asking. I'll get back to you. Okay, friends, that is my quick tip for today. Let me know how it goes or if you have any questions, and I will see you next week.
Thank you for listening to the Overwhelmed Working Woman podcast. If you want to learn more about my work, head over to my website at michellegauthier.com. See you next week.